Jamaican fraudster charged in the United States, while another one done killed in St. Catherine. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. A 36-year-old Jamaican woman known as Sharika Savaria Goodison appeared in a U.S. federal court on Tuesday and was arraigned on an 8-count indictment. She has been charged with creating a series of fraudulent debt relief companies that trick American victims into paying fees and disclosing personal identifying information and identifying documents to obtain debt relief which did not actually exist. The charges were announced by U.S. Attorney Matthew M. Graves for the District of Columbia and Sally Luttrell, Assistant Inspector General for Investigations of the Treasury Department Office of Inspector General. On December 2nd of 2021, a federal grand jury returned an 8-count sealed indictment charging Savaria with 1 count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud affecting a financial institution, 4 counts of wire fraud affecting a financial institution, and 3 counts of aggravated identity theft. And it's alleged that during the period of 2016 to 2018, Savaria conspired with others to profit from fees paid by victims of fraudulent debt relief companies. The indictment alleged that conspirators created and operated fraudulent businesses and websites that marketed and sold fraudulent debt relief service to members of the public. Through their false representations, Savaria and her co-conspirators are alleged to have induced or attempted to induce victims throughout the United States to pay more than $1 million for service processing fees, which they pocketed. Savaria had fled to Jamaica but was extradited from Jamaica last week. The judge in the case ordered that she be held without bond until her next hearing on September 20. A man has been arrested and charged after he allegedly broke into a woman's home in Morant Bay in St. Thomas and stabbed her multiple times. Charged with burglary and unlawful wounding is 48-year-old Junior Edwards, a laborer of Trinityville in the parish. Reports from the Morant Bay police are that about 5:18 in the morning on August 29, Edwards reportedly forced open a window to gain entry to the home of the complainant. When the complainant realized that there was someone inside her home, she ran from the house. However, she was allegedly chased by Edwards, who caught her and used a knife to stab her several times. A report was made to the police, and it was reportedly later confirmed that Edwards and the complainant had recently ended a romantic relationship. Following investigations, Edward was arrested and charged after a question and answer session. There were chaotic scenes along the Bogwalk Gorge in St. Catherine yesterday afternoon following an exchange of gunfire between the police and gunmen. Police were notified just after 12 p.m. that gunshots were reported in the Riversdale neighborhood of St. Catherine. As a result, they reacted immediately when a white Toyota Wish was seen and intercepted, and it is said the passengers of the car engaged the police in a gunfight. At the end of the shooting, one man was shot and discovered with an illegal firearm. A woman in the vehicle was also held while another person fled. Following an operation was conducted at the house of the woman in the St. Catherine South area, and this led to the seizure of an illegal gun and several rounds of ammunition. The man who was fatally shot is one of the defendants from the Wandan gang who was freed in June of last year. And I hope Judge Brian Sykes is paying attention because he was the one who let them back on the street free as a bird. At least 8 persons were apprehended Tuesday after a series of targeted police operations in St. Mary for armed robberies, drug trafficking, and lottery fraud. St. Mary and St. Anne police team raided a property in Bosco Bellevue in Oracabessa in pursuit of the leader of a criminal ring responsible for theft in both parishes. The police said that they found 43 lead sheets with the identities of persons residing in other countries inside a property rented by the proposed gang boss known as Bobby Sachs. 3 persons detained at the site have now been charged with possessing personal information. Meanwhile, a man was fatally shot by an off-duty policeman in Portland on Tuesday, and it's alleged that the man was shot while attempting to rob the policeman. The deceased is 29-year-old Rohan Brown of no fixed address. According to police report, about 1:40 p.m., the off-duty policeman was walking along Gideon Avenue in the vicinity of the municipal building in Port Antonio when Brown pulled a knife on him and demanded that he hand over cash he had in his possession. The policeman pulled his licensed firearm and shot Brown, who he said threatened to kill him. The Independent Commission of Investigation is now probing that incident. Matthew Simpson, 22, of Thetson District of Old Harbor in St. Catherine, was arrested and charged with robbery with aggravation, possession of a prohibited weapon, and unlawful wounding after an incident along the Thetson Main Road in the parish on Wednesday, August 30. According to the Old Harbor Police, Simpson, armed with a revolver, pulled up on a woman and robbed her of $30,000 and other personal goods at 5:30 p.m. He then allegedly used the handgun to hurt the victim on the forehead. Following that, a police report was filed. Simpson was later identified at Old Harbor and detained. and following a question and answer session, he was charged. The police have now confirmed that a member of the King's Alarm security team escaped serious injury after he was shot while attempting to foil a robbery in Independence City in Portmore in St. Catherine yesterday. Reports from the police are that the security guard was saved by his bulletproof vest and suffered injuries which are believed to be non-life threatening. On to sports, we have some more matches from the CONCACAF Nations League. Barbados suffered a heavy 5-1 thrashing at the hands of Nicaragua to lose their second game of the CONCACAF Nations League on Monday. They now remain at the bottom of their group. Unbeaten, Nicaragua now lead that group with 6 points. Also in Group B, Montserrat went down 3-0 to the Dominican Republic in Santo Domingo, while in League C, St. Martin beat Bonaire 2-1 and the Cayman Island lost to Aruba 2-1 in Georgetown. On to Manning Cup games yesterday. Charlie Summit edged Camperdown 1-0. Ascot and Vauxhall played to a 1-all draw. Jose Marte High beat Arden 4-0, while St. George's put on a domino score, or should we say more than a domino score, on Pembroke Hall, beating them 16-0, while Waterford and Campion College played to a 0-all draw. Now on to Dacosta Cup. We had a whole bunch of matches yesterday. We had Charlemont beating Everton 2-1. Mannings High and Black River High played to a 1-all draw. Garvey Massey edged Fogar Road 1-0. Cornwall College beat Malden 2-0. St. James beat Greenpond 1-0. Irwin were 3-0 winners over Spot Valley. Christiana edged Homewood 1-0. Mile Gully were 3-0 winners over Belfield. Knox College beat Alfonso Davis 1-0. Dintil were 3-1 winners over Magrat. Morant Bay beat Yalas 3-2, while Denby were 18-0 winners over Poros. Yes, you heard right, 18-0 Denby beating Poros, while Glenmore were 4-0 winners over Old Harbor, and Happy Grove beating Port Antonio 5-0. And that's going to be news and sports on your favorite radio station. My name is Mikey Bones. Have a wonderful day, everybody. I gone.